guys, welcome back to Pro Gun. If you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button. Would greatly appreciate that. Today we're going to talk about iron sights versus red dots. Now, I've had a lot of people ask me what's better, and what it comes down to is it's a personal preference. They all have their pros and they all have their cons. So we'll start with the iron sights. The iron sights are cheaper, they're lighter, they're more durable, they're not susceptible to weather, they're waterproof. They're also cheaper than red dots. They're available in multiple configurations from standard dots to night sights to fiber optic, and they don't require batteries. Now, let's go on to the red dot. Now, the future is definitely red dot. There's no question about that. Almost every new firearm that is manufactured today is red dot ready. Okay. Now, in my experience, if you're a new shooter and you've never shot with iron sights before and you just learned on a red dot, the red dot is much easier to use. But if you're old school like I am and you've been using iron sights for a long time, there's a bit of a learning curve involved with the red dot. But the benefits of the red dot is it allows quick target acquisition. And when you start getting old like me and you're using iron sights, sometimes I have a hard time seeing the iron sights. And it's even worse trying to align it and see the iron sights against the target. When you're using the red dot superimposes itself on the target. And the reason it's more accurate is because you only have one focal point to worry about. All you have to do is concentrate on the target. Wherever the red dot is, there you go. However, you should be able to shoot with both. And most red dots, they sit very low, so you could co-witness the front sight with the dot. And that's what I do. And I would highly recommend that you don't just give up relying on the iron sights, because if the day comes when your life depends on it and the battery dies, you better know how to shoot with iron sights. Another advantage of the red dot is that when you're using iron sights, it doesn't look like you're moving the firearm much. But when you have a red dot, you can see the red dot going all over the place. Now, one of the things I found that was very difficult when I started using a red dot is actually finding the dot. I was like the cat with the laser pointer. And what I found that really helps is instead of trying to find it by using the muzzle, move your head instead. And if you're co-witnessing, you could see the red dot just a fraction of an inch above your front sight. And then you have the best of both worlds. Now, red dots could be more expensive, and contrary to what people believe, the red dot does not make you a better shooter. What it does is it allows you to get target acquisition much quicker, and you can shoot at further distances because no matter how far away it is, you'll see that dot superimpose itself on the target. And like I said, when you start getting old like I am, the red dot is definitely the way to go, but they're both important to use. I would not just solely rely on red dots. And if you're shooting competition, a red dot is by far the best way to go. Over time, you'll be able to do it. And another thing to keep in mind is that I have astigmatism. And when I look at the red dot, sometimes it's deformed or jagged, but I learned how to compensate for it. And another advantage of the red dot is it allows you to shoot with both eyes open. So if I had to tell you what's better, a combination of the both, I would say. The red dot definitely helps you acquire your target much quicker. But it's not a magic pill. It's not going to make you an expert just because you put a red dot on your firearm. It takes practice, and you're going to probably have to dry fire hundreds, maybe even 1,000 rounds to get proficient with the red dot. Now, like I said, if you're an old school shooter and you've been shooting with iron sights, it's a pretty steep learning curve. But if you're new to shooting, you'll probably pick it up very quickly. But it's definitely the future. Almost every gun now is set up to be optic ready, and a couple of years from now, I would bet you every firearm is going to already come with a red dot on it. So it's not going to go away. They both have their pros and cons, but realistically, the red dot is the future. I would highly recommend getting one and learning to be proficient with it, while at the same time still using your iron sights as a backup just in case the battery goes out. Red dots could be very expensive. They don't last long. They're fragile. The batteries probably last a couple of years, but they definitely have their advantage. If you have iron sights, even with night sights, sometimes the night sights just don't glow enough in the dark for you to get a great sight alignment and sight picture, where the red dot is super bright. And the nice thing about the red dot is it's bright in the daytime and it's bright in the night. If you don't have night sights on your carry gun and you're using just standard iron sights, and you go in the dark, it's impossible to get a sight picture. The red dot by far is the way to go with that. So there you have it. I wouldn't call one better than the other. I would call the red dot more preferable because it has more advantages. But if you're old school and you're comfortable shooting with iron sights, stick with what works for you. But if you are going to go to a red dot sight, you still need to know how to shoot with irons. I hope this video helps. Thanks for watching.